Hey, what's up, gang? Matt Modi with OddsJam. And of course, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to bet some baseball. To do a recap of yesterday, as I do every single day, went 1-2 yesterday, unfortunately. My yes run first inning didn't hit. My player pitcher prop didn't hit. I did hit the Brewers run line -1, which was nice, but overall, down $44 yesterday. That makes my profits down to about $100 since I started this new strategy. Which was the 21st, and about only down $9 in totality of all my baseball bets. But in reality, I'm putting the most emphasis on my profit from the new strategy, so that way I know that to make sure the strategy works and kind of tweak it as things go. Of course, everybody knows that I get these plays from the OddsJam Positive EV page. If you want to find myself, I'm on Twitter at Modi_Matt. My role is as a betting analyst, content producer, or content creator for OddsJam. Let's get into it. So the way it works is the Positive EV page, as everybody's probably aware, it provides situations in which you are getting a mathematical edge when placing a bet. The way it works is this OddsJam line here. It's pulled from the most accurate bookmaker in the world in terms of it has the most efficient betting market. So these odds are generally going to be the most accurate odds of how a market should be priced at. And anywhere in which we're getting more favorable odds on another book, like there's a bunch of FanDuel ones, is a positive expected value play. That's kind of how it works. The no vig odds here, it's essentially the vig is the juice that sportsbooks price odds. So the most common odds you'll see is -110, -110. So you have to bet $110 to win 100. So if there are two different bettors that bet on $100 on one side, the other bettor bets $100 on the other side, the sportsbook, no matter what, will profit about $10 from that interaction. And that's how they make their money. Fair? No, but that's their business model. So it's important to remove the vig just to get a true understanding of what the OddsJam line prices things at. And then this last column here with is essentially a way to measure confidence in the line. The lower numbers equal more confident. And what I'm looking at here for market width is any player props that are 35 and below are within range, and any game props that are 25 and below, like this one here, are within range. For player props, I'm looking at anything 4% and above. For game props, I'm looking at anything 3% and above. So right off the bat, we see a ton of plays, but using market width, it makes it a little less overwhelming when you are looking at the page, because as we see, like 41, 38, 47, 49, 46, here's when that would actually be within range. Max Muncy over 1.5 total bases, 32 cents in market width. So to look at this one in a little bit more detail, the profit margin is 5.22%. So I'm going to put that in my spreadsheet here to come back to later, 5.22. And let's just look into this one. So FanDuel has it at +100. The OddsJam line -129, -111 with no vig. And again, the 5.22% you see here can essentially be viewed as your profit margin. So everything checks out from this perspective. But before I actually place any bets, what I like to do is just open this in a new tab. And this takes where every sportsbook is pricing it. So that way I can see whether I'm truly getting a mathematical advantage or not in terms of a pricing discrepancy. And this one is a perfect example of one that I am getting that discrepancy. So the OddsJam line has it at -129. Every other book has it in the -120s, except for Caesars, which has it at -133. And we're getting it all the way at +100 on FanDuel. So this is a true discrepancy and something that is worth betting. And then a couple things I like doing. This won't necessarily talk me into a bet, but maybe it'll talk me out of it. I just like to look into the pitching matchup. I like to look into the player stats to see how they've been doing. So like Max Muncy looks like he's going against a pretty bad pitcher, German Marquez, and he has a lot of at-bats against him. He actually isn't batting that well, 136 in 22 at-bats, but does have 2 home runs. And then I also like to literally just Google Max Muncy stats to see how he's doing recently. So last game he had 2 hits, which I like. He's actually having a rough year, only batting 167, which I don't like, but there seems to be a lot in his favor. So this is going to be one that I will take. And then in terms of unit sizing, I literally just click this calculator here. I change this number to 0.5, and I follow this in terms of unit sizing. The only important thing to note here is just to round to the nearest number 5, like that. So this one I'll put exactly 65 on it, and this will be my first bet for today. So we're looking at Max. Now let me just add it to my sheet. Is Max Muncy over bases. I put 65 on it at plus 100 odds. And the reason why I put this percent here is you can literally you can actually get your expected profit in terms of real dollars from an individual bet if you just multiply your unit size, your wager, the amount, versus the percent. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just multiplying $65 by 5.22%. Gives me a rough mathematical profit of about $3.39 for this individual bet. Now, I know that doesn't seem like I'm breaking the bank, obviously. $3.39 isn't a lot, but the goal isn't necessarily to become rich overnight. It's to be profitable over time, which has been the case with this new strategy. So not overall with baseball, but the new strategy is working, which is good. So this, again, anyways, this will be my first bet, Max Muncy over. The next one that I'm looking at, first of all, let me just add this to my bet tracker. This bet tracker is something that OddsJam offers for free. It's really easy. You literally just click that plus button, and then it shows up as a check mark. That way you know that it's worked. But it's completely free to use, so I'll definitely recommend checking out the OddsJam bet tracker. So I'm going to get into some of these game props. So this next one is the Nationals versus Pirates. Looks like it's over 10.5 runs, plus 155 on PointsBet. So everything checks out here. OddsJam line, plus 136. With the VIG removed, plus 143, 18 cents in market width, so it's well within range there, and 4.9% profit margin. So again, let me add this to my sheet here, and everything checks out from that perspective. So let me just open it in a new tab and see where all the books are pricing it at. So this was over 10.5, plus 155 on PointsBet. It's the same exact thing. No other book has this even above plus 136. Every book has it in the plus 130s, with DraftKings and MGM actually having it at plus 125. So pretty insane outlier here in terms of what everything is pricing it at. And then again, this won't necessarily talk me out of anything. I just like to kind of look into the matchup. So the Nats have a decent pitcher. Granted, hasn't pitched a ton, where the Pirates don't necessarily have a great pitcher. Now the thing that makes me a little nervous is these aren't two great offenses, but normally bad pitching will overtake a bad offense. So this is something that I will officially add to my bet tracker. And for game props, I just leave it at 1, and my amount to wager looks like this is going to be an $80 bet for me. So we're looking at Nats, Pirates over runs. This is again the 29th. So I put $80 on this one at plus 155 odds, and with my profit margin at 4.9%, I can expect to make roughly $3.92 specifically on this bet. So again, let me just add this to my bet tracker, $80 here, click save, and we're good to go. So it looks like there are a couple, there's a pitcher prop that I wanted to make sure I got in because I have a batter one. Now normally, if it's me individually, I would take everything that fits the parameter, but that would be like a 20-minute long video. So I'm just gonna highlight a few just to talk about how my strategy works. And just to kind of take a bunch of different props, a bunch of different ones, just to have the exposure out there. So this next one that I'm looking at here is Dane Dunning under 3.5 strikeouts. I have noticed the highest success rate specifically with strikeouts. Granted, I had one yesterday that didn't hit, but generally I would say strikeouts have the, like I said, the highest success rate. It's the easiest to kind of track over time, are strikeouts. So this one at plus 130 on FanDuel. Looks like, again, OddsJam, 35 cents in market width, so check that box. It's plus 120 with the VIG removed, 4.3% in terms of profit margin. So let me just add that here. Again, 4.3%. And then before I place it, one thing that will specifically talk me out of a bet is the outlier, if it's not truly an outlier. But in this case, it is. So 3.5 on FanDuel. This would actually be a really good entry to add on PrizePicks because, as we can see, every book has this market priced at 3.5, whereas PrizePicks you can add it to an entry to go under 4. So this would actually be a good PrizePicks entry. But regardless, for this specific one, plus 130 on FanDuel is a true outlier. So far so good. So now let me just look at Dane Dunning stats. And again, this is kind of just for my own interest, just to see how he's doing recently. It normally won't talk me into a play, but it could talk me out of one. But it looks like he kind of hovers around the 3.5, 4 range. So he's gone over this 2 of his past 4 games, but he had exactly 4, so just 1 over. Granted, he did have a good stretch before that where 7, 5, 8, 6, 6, 5. So that is a little concerning. But recently, he has not had as many strikeouts. And looks like his ERA isn't that great either. He just pitched against the Nats, so maybe because they had pitched against him recently, he won't have as much success. We will see. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and trust the math. That's the most important thing. So Dane Dunning under 3.5 strikeouts. So let me add this to my bet tracker. Dane Dunning under Ks. So this was again the 29th. In terms of unit sizing, I did forget to do that. This is going to be it looks like a $40 bet for me. So not breaking the bank on this one. $40 at plus 130 odds. So the profit margin on this one is going to be a little bit lower. It's going to be, 1.72%. But that's okay. Again, what we're looking to do here is just stack positive expected value plays on top of each other. So these are going to be the 3 that I'm going to go with today. Again, for my actual betting strategy, I would take all of these that fit the parameter. But again, that would be a 20-minute video. So if you are scanning through the OddsJam Positive EV page and you're wondering why there's certain ones that I didn't take, it's just to have one of each play. Player prop, game prop, or batter prop, game prop, strikeout prop, just to have the difference. But individually, I would take all of these, just so we're clear there. But anyways, those are going to be the 3. So we're looking at Max Muncy over 1.5 total bases, and that's Pirates over 10.5 runs, and Dane Dunning under 3.5 strikeouts. And that's going to be it. So if you're tailing, let me know. Again, you can hit me up on Twitter, Modi_Matt. You can comment on the video with your feedback there. Other than that, please remember to like, share with your friends, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, and that's all I got for you. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.